Alright, your name.
Bobby Phillips. Bobby Joe Phillips.
Now, and what was some of the fondest memories you remember about Aragon?
I was born in Aragon in 1931, and during, I remember when they built the schoolhouse, it was 1935. My daddy had a little grocery store right down here in Hicksville, and my two older brothers in the mornings, they would load it up with Coca-Colas, cookies, crackers, and bring and sell to the construction workers. I was 4 years old. They'd set me in the back of the wagon. We'd go down to the old oak tree down here and sit and sell they would sell the people that was building a school Coca-Colas, crackers, cookies.
Right.
They'd probably sell cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, whatever, you know. And I started in the first grade in 1937. And my fondest memory in the first grade, I remember the lady was teaching, and I guess I was 6 years old. I was standing up at her desk whistling, and boy, she just slapped the snot out of me. And then in 1945, they had a football team in Aragon. I was in the 8th grade, I guess. And then the 9th grade, we finished 9th grade, then go to Rockmart. And I graduated Rockmart in 1950. And then in June 1950, that's when the Korean War started, and so I went in the Army in February 1951, stayed till 1953, stayed in reserves until 1955, 1956. In 1953, I went to work at Lockheed and worked for 7 years. And after 1960 or 61, I went to work at the post office at Rockmart, worked 30 years. I've been retired for 27 years.
And who are you married to?
Patty Austin. She was born up at Yorkville. She moved to Rockmart. We got married in 1955. We've been married 61 years in February.
How many kids you got?
We had 2. Our son died with a massive heart attack at 54 years old. And our daughter Kitty lived in Rockmart. And we have a bunch of grandkids and a bunch of great-grandkids. How many, I have to take time to count them. And I don't remember, Sadie.
Who was your best friends when you was growing up?
Oh, right here in Aragon, all of them passed away. Bobby Ott Moody, Billy Free, Jack Ingalls, Ben Clinton Jr., Frank Rogers Jr., Marvin Hardy, Paul Head Jr., Max Mason, Bobby Mason, and they all done passed away, passed on. I was born in May 1931. I was 85 last week.
What day?
May 3rd.
May the 18th.
Huh?
My birthday's May the 18th.
18th. Okay.
Yes.
If you got him, well, that he tell you how.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, I probably could, but I don't know. It'd take me all evening.
Okay. All right, now I hope
But I've
I
I've always loved Aragon, Georgia. We had a good time growing up.
did. Well, we appreciate you
And
doing
we-
this too.
One thing about Aragon, I had there was 8 boys in my family, and I was number 6. And the baby's still living. He's 70 years old. He and I are the only ones still living. And back during the Depression years, I lived on the corner of Aragon Road and 3rd Street. There, the baseball field was right in front of our house, softball field. But now, when I was growing up, that field didn't have anything in it. The mill company during the Depression years, they plowed all them fields up and sold them in pea patches. And people could go pick peas.
What?
And then World War II started. My mama always kept boarders, and Mr. Neal was the plant manager down there, and he wanted her to move over in the hotel and keep boarders because they didn't have enough housing for people to work.
Right.
To work in the mills didn't have enough housing for them. And the mill company furnished beds for all the rooms in the hotel. And my brother and I had to keep a bucket of coal up there in the winter time for all of it. She cooked 3 meals a day, you know, and fixed them a lunch when they went to work. Come home, they would eat according to what shift was on. She'd have supper done, a dinner done, a breakfast done. And the mill company over in Newtown used to have a big cow pasture over there. And the mill company had people to move their cows and their hog pens and everything out. And they filled it up with trailers. And the people worked the mill, 1 bedroom trailer, I reckon is all they were. But that field was full of it over at Newtown. You know where Newtown was.
Know where Little New York's at too.
Little New York.
And Hicksville.
Hicksville. Little New York, Hicksville. Portland, Long Station, West Aragon.
Right. Okay.
Okay, see.
I appreciate this.